Great.
Yeah, this is chapter 12, devotional service. Thank you, Ashwari Mataji. I keep forgetting. So this chapter begins with Arjuna asking Lord Krishna. He's asking about the devotees, right? So when we have devotees, there it says two kinds of devotees. Devotee is worshipping, and he is also doing devotional service. And that devotee is doing a worship. He is worshipping Lord's personal form. Okay, or which one is better? The devotee who's doing transcendentalist kind of a meditation, he is doing on impersonal Brahman. Which one is better, Krishna? One devotee who is doing on the personal form of yours, and one who is doing in the impersonal Brahman form of yours. Which one is better? Then what does Lord Krishna reply in this chapter, overall chapter, is the devotee who is fixing his mind on my personal form is better or most perfect. So, of course, only 20 shlokas are there in this, but very, because this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita, because Lord Krishna has stressed about bhakti, devotion in each and every chapter. Wherever he got an opportunity, he has been talking about bhakti. So naturally, this chapter is very important, very deep, in-depth meaning is there, because path of devotion is the highest among all kinds of spiritual practices that will be. Whatever practice we may do, ultimately it will culminate in having devotion. If we have devotion, if we add devotion to it, it will be fructified. So Lord Krishna says over here that love for God, it doesn't come very naturally. It's not that I'm born and I'll get love for Krishna immediately. It's not that easy. So devotion is not some kind of it's a fruit hanging on the tree. I'll just pluck it, eat it, and I'll get that. No, you need to have some kind of practice, right? You have to cultivate that habit of, and you have to make some consistent efforts to get it. So let's see. Bhakti is the best. Overview is Bhakti is the best. Progressive stages of devotion we will see, and the qualities that Krishna loves. So let's see what qualities he loves in his devotees. Arjuna uvacha evam satatayukta ye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye cha pyaksharam avyaktam esham ke yoga vittamaha. Yes, Mataji. Sunaina Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna inquired, which is considered to be more perfect, those who are properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Hare Krishna.
So this is the question Arjuna asked. Who do you consider most perfect or better? So in 11th chapter end also, Lord Krishna told about the qualities of the devotees who worship him. What were the qualities he mentioned? He said, mat karma krit mat paramaha. Mat karma krit means somebody who is engaged in my work. Mat paramaha, they consider me to be the supreme. Mat bhakta, they are completely in my devotional service. Sangha varditaha, they are not at all, they are attached to anything. Nirvaira, they don't have any enemies. Sarva bhuteshu, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, they are not they don't have any enmity with anybody. So such people are my bhaktas. So that was what Lord Krishna described about his devotees. So that was the essence, right? So far he's saying, those who consider me, who worship me in devotional service. And the question that Arjuna is asking, let's see what kind of answer Krishna will give, because generally what happens, transcendentalists can be divided into two classes. One are impersonalists, one are personalists. Who are personalist devotees? They engage themselves, they engage all their energy in the service of the Lord. And impersonalists, what they do not directly engage themselves in the form. They do meditation. They will fix, like Ashtanga Yoga, we already learned, right? They will do on the impersonal feature. They will fix their focus, their mind in the center of the brow, and then they will meditate. So now Arjuna is asking, which one is better, Krishna? Which process is easier? Which one is most perfect? Because in 11th chapter, he already saw universal form. He was very fearful of that. Then he saw Narayan form also. That also he was not very close to. The moment he saw Saumya Rupa, of Lord Krishna, which was beautiful form of Lord Krishna, two-handed form of Lord Krishna, he was completely completely dipped in, you can say, love, because that was what made him very comfortable. He could see that other forms disturbed him little bit, and there was no love for Krishna. But when he came as two-handed form, there was a lot of. So whenever you have that personal form, whenever you have a personal relationship, you fall in love, right? So this happens in us, with us also, in our this material world also. So this important question has to be clarified by Lord Krishna. Let's see. Who is the higher transcendentalist from the following?
Devotee of Lord.
Correct. Living entity is not the material body. He is a
Spirit soul.
Yes, correct. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshyamano Yemam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetaha Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Hare Krishna. Atmaja Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The blessed Lord said, "He whose mind is fixed on my personal form, always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith, is considered by me to be the most perfect." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we got the answer. Who worships him with faith and devotion, he is supposed to be the perfect in yoga. So how to understand personal and impersonal form? So this example is always given by Srila Prabhupada. He says, suppose we are standing at the bus stand. Okay, the bus is coming from a distance and its headlight is all on. Okay, it's shining. So when it is coming, we can just see the light is approaching. We don't know what is coming, but there is a light that is approaching. That is what we can see. That is the Brahman feature. Then as soon as the bus comes closer, we can see the shining form also. Along with it, what we can see? We can see the bus, the form of the bus, right? That is the Paramatma feature. And when the bus comes at the bus stand, it's standing on at the bus stand, then we see the bus, we see the windows, we see who the driver is, we see all the passengers sitting, we can see the seats, we can see each and everything. That is the personal feature or Bhagavan as it comes closer. So that is our understanding. So what happens? Bus is the same, but on being closer, our understanding of how it is, what the color of the bus is, what the shape of the bus is, how many passengers sitting, it grows, right? Same way, the knowers of the truth, they have stated that there is only one supreme entity. They are not 100 gods, 3 gods or anything. No, there's only one. One supreme entity is manifesting in 3 different ways. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. They are not 3 different gods. They are 3 manifestations of the same God. Their qualities are different. So what happens is, like for example, the sunshine, when the sun is shining, it is coming through your window. Does not mean the sun has come, right? The shine is coming. That is the Brahman root, the analogy. And the whole sun disk is Paramatma. And the sun God is Bhagavan. That can be given as analogy. Yeah, we can see the 9 processes of devotional service. What Sri Prahlad Maharaj had said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. We have discussed this before also, and Prahlad Maharaj said that hearing and chanting, very, very important, and hearing and chanting the name of the Lord, his form, his leela, his pastimes, very important, remembering him, serving him, offering him the respectful obeisances, becoming his servant and considering Lord as best friend and surrendering everything unto him is what we need to do. And these are the 9 processes by which are accepted as pure devotional service. And if we dedicate our life to the service of Lord Krishna through these methods, then we have acquired complete knowledge. So let's see who will read now. Snigdha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading inconceivable, fixed, and immovable. The impersonal conception of the absolute truth by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone. Such person engaged in the welfare of of all at last achieve me. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. At last achieve me. They also achieve. See, personalists and impersonalists. It's not that impersonalists will not achieve Krishna. They will also achieve. Those who do not directly worship Krishna, but they are trying to achieve the same goal by an indirect process. Ultimately, Lord Krishna says, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. They achieve the same goal, that is Lord Krishna. But for that, what do? They have to go through a lot of austerities. They have to control their senses. They have to do welfare for all. They have to, serve others. It's not easy. It's really difficult. Yes. क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गते दुःखं देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. Yes, Anushri Mataji, Hare Krishna. Anupriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that, discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are all embodied souls, right? We are having embodied means what? We are like in a cage. This body is like a cage for us, and the soul is inside this body. That is why it's embodied. So we are all embodied, and discipline is very difficult for us. 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, we'll follow the discipline. And to keep my mind attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature, it's not so easy for us, right? And those who are doing this, they're jnana yogis, those who follow the path of impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. And those who are into Krishna consciousness, into devotional service, they are into bhakti yoga. They are practicing bhakti yoga. So the difference between jnana yoga and bhakti yoga is like, jnana yoga is our own discipline. Self-discipline has to be there. It will also reach the same goal, but it's little troublesome. Are we ready to do that, follow that discipline path? When it comes to bhakti marg, it is like you are doing all using 9 processes of devotional service, direct in service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we feel it's easier. It may be natural for embodied souls like us. We are conditioned souls. The question is, why meditating upon formless Brahman is very difficult. The reason is we also have a body, we have a form, and when there is no form in front of us, we don't know how to relate to that form, what to look, where to look. Even Arjuna was asking Krishna, where to look for your universal form, Krishna. So we need to have a form so that we can relate to it. That's one thing, because from endless lifetimes, we have been getting a body. So what our mind, is very much used to, habituated on seeing a body, a mind, a form. And we cannot, if you say, okay, look at the wall and keep meditating, after a while, we will be lost completely. So if we say meditate upon the God just looking at the wall, it's very easy to focus and increase our attachment to Lord if we know that we can look at a form and concentrate. So when it comes to formless form, the intellect, it cannot imagine. The mind and the senses have to be tangible, right? Concrete, real object has to be there. So very difficult to attach the mind to Krishna if it is formless. So let's see the example of a monkey, a baby monkey and a baby kitten. You can play this. You can see the difference. The baby monkey, what is baby monkey doing? It's holding mother's belly very tightly, the mother's leg, right? Very tightly. It is the mother is not helping it to hold. And when mother monkey is going to jump from one branch to other, it's baby monkey's responsibility to hold on to mother. If it falls, it falls. That's it. It has to cling very tightly. Otherwise, it will fall. In contrast, when you see kitten, you can see the cat is holding the kitten by its neck. So it is responsible for holding it. So from this analogy, what do we understand is the devotees of formless Brahman, impersonal, they can be compared to baby monkey. They have to put in self-effort. If we have to cling on to God, and the moment the God is going here and there and the mind is running here and there, we fall. That's it. Whereas baby kitten, they receive divine support of Krishna, because Krishna is the one who is holding their hands. So which one is better? Of course, right? Where Krishna is protecting his devotees. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranishyati. Arjuna, please tell everyone, no devotee of mine is ever lost. So this is like, very, very important, that if I want to post a letter, right, and I will go and make a box, exactly the same kind that government puts, right? I'll also use the red color and black color, and I make a nice post box with a nice iron or aluminum or steel or whatever, and I'll put it on the road, and I will post my letter in it. Will it go to its destination? Do you think it will go to the destination if I make a box and keep it over there? No, it won't, because it's just an imitation, right? So it will not naturally go to the destination, right? It's not going to happen. We may find many, many mailboxes on the street. If we post the letters in those boxes, which are authorized by the government, it will go to the destination easily without any difficulty. But if I make my own post box and just put it on the street and try to put the letter, nobody will come and pick up the letter. The letter will remain over there. Similarly, God has an authorized representation. How? Deity form, which is called Archa Vigraha. This Archa Vigraha is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. God accepts service through that form. Lord is all powerful, right? So by his incarnation of Archa Vigraha, he accepts our services, because he knows, how will we see? We cannot see Krishna, right? We cannot see with our material eyes. So Lord Krishna is very merciful. He says, okay, I'm going to be present over there. Just offer, talk to me, do whatever you want to do with Archa Vigraha. So he accepts the services of all the devotees just to make it convenient for us, for we embodied souls. So that's what he confirms later as well. Archa Vigraha is the dash of the Supreme Lord.
Incarnation.
Yes, correct.
Incarnation.
Yes, correct. Yes, please. Who will read? Snigdha Mataji, would you like to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. For one who worship me, giving up. So, excuse me.
No problem. You can take the next time, Mataji. You just drink some water. Anupriya Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For one who worships me, giving up all his activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, who has fixed his mind upon me, O son of Parth, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. For one who worships me and he is devoted to me, he does not need to practice any kind of yoga, any kind of Ashtanga yoga to go back to Godhead, to go back to personal, permanent abode. Krishna takes the responsibility of taking him. Here you can see how Krishna is going, holding the hand forward, asking the devotee to come, I will hold your hand. So it's very clear here, right, that he is going to take care of us, how a parent takes care of a child. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is very merciful. So he, as you can see in the picture, he will just come on Garuda, come say, hold my hand. And even though we may be struggling very hard in this material ocean of this material world, he will still, be helpful when we are at the point where it is very miserable, we are very sad, and we are not able to swim across because through the difficulties of our life. That's when he comes forward. He holds our hand. He says, be steady. Don't worry, I am with you, right? How will we feel when we are right in the middle of an ocean and drowning, and somebody immediately, comes and saves us? We feel so relieved. If we are stranded in an isolated island, and nobody is there to rescue us, and suddenly, once, one traveler was there. He went to an island, and he was over there, and he was once, he just wanted to be there, and he was stranded. He was all alone. He didn't know what to do. And suddenly there was a fire in the forest, on the island, and the fire began to blaze. And he said, oh my God, first of all, you made me strand on this island. I got stranded on this island, and now you have got this forest fire. What will happen to me? I'm going to be killed anyway. Anyway, I'm dying of thirst, of hunger. I have nothing to eat. Whatever little trees I had over here, that also caught fire. Now there is a forest fire. I'm going to die for certain. But you know what? God is so merciful. Suddenly, he sees a helicopter coming. And a helicopter landed over there, and they came. He said, how did you know? He said, there was a fire. We thought you're calling for help. So we came to help you and rescue you. So we immediately thought, okay, there is somebody stranded over there. We saw some fire. You see God's ways, how God saves us. So, God picks up the devotee from all kinds of this material miseries that we are facing. What do we have to do? Simply practice. Easy process of chanting, engaging our mind fully in devotional service, chanting the Maha Mantra, and then we will be very happily be able to go to our permanent abode, right? Rishi Kena, Rishi Kesha, Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Bhakti, devotional service, simply what? Engage your senses in the service of the master of the senses. Rishi Kesha. Rishi Kena, Rishi Kesha. So if we can engage our senses towards the master of the senses in devotional service, he is going to take us forward. The conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, that is stated in chapter 18, everybody knows, 18.66. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhya moksha ishyami ma shuchaha. Just surrender to me. Leave everything. Leave all kinds of varieties of religion. Just come. I will deliver you from all the sinful reactions. Do not fear. Ma shuchaha. So God is our savior. The only thing he wants us from us is surrender. We don't surrender. We think we are the controller. Everything we. Then only he will deliver from us from this cycle of birth and death. Very, very strong recommendation by Lord Krishna over here. He has given us wide range of services, 9 processes of devotional service. He is giving that, okay, if you do this, surrender to me, I guarantee you, Ma Shuchaha, I guarantee you for this life as well as for the coming life, I will take care of you. So you can imagine how important and how good devotional service is. So let's see the comparison between a devotee and an impersonalist. Devotee meditates on the deity form. Impersonalists meditate on the formless form. Engages the senses. Impersonalist has to control the senses. Devotee understands Krishna through devotional service by rendering Nava-Vida Bhakti, 9 processes of devotional service that we learned. And he understands Brahman through reading scriptures, Upanishads, non-perceptual feelings. Easy and natural. This is little troublesome because mind runs here and there. Intimate personal relationships we form. There is no relationship with the Lord. We are just focusing on something empty. Krishna delivers his devotees, depends on our own endeavor, how much hard work we will put into. Complete realization of Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, partial realization of Sat, which is Brahman realization. So we understand from here, right? Which one is better? Mayeva mana adatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na sanshayah. Yes, Shakya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your senses in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt.
There'll be no doubt. When? When we will be living in him, in Lord Krishna is, Lord Krishna says, when you will live in me, when you fix your mind upon me. So we have to engage in Lord Krishna's devotional service. If we live in that direct relationship with Lord Krishna, then there is no doubt that, you know, our position will be transcendental from the very, very beginning. So the devotee, when we are devotees, we don't live on this material plane at all. You know, the devotee lives in Krishna consciousness, thinking about Krishna, Krishna's food, Krishna's rest, Krishna has to do this, Krishna's holy name, Krishna. Then what happens? When we are chanting Krishna's name, but Krishna's name and Krishna, they are no different. So Krishna, devotees chanting Hare Krishna means he is thinking about Krishna only continuously. So when he is offering food to Krishna, he is thinking about Krishna only. Then, according to Srila Prabhupada, he says the devotee becomes Krishnaized. Whenever he is offering prasadam, bhoga, and eating the prasadam, he is Krishnaized. Means by eating the remnants, he is completely into that Ananya Bhakti. You know, this is perfected devotional service. Means completely in engagement of Lord Krishna. We cannot think of anything else anytime. So this is something, you know, I say that very few things come in life which have, you know, such complete guarantee. Who gives guarantee nowadays? Nobody gives guarantee, right? Everything comes with conditions applied, right? Everywhere you will see conditions apply. Anywhere, small letters, it's written conditions apply. They will put any company, every company. This is one place where Lord Krishna is giving us guarantee that engage in my pure transcendental devotion and you see, I will be with you. Who gives this guarantee? Except Krishna. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tataha mamichaptum dhananjaya. Yes, Kirti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, he is giving us choices also. So what Lord Krishna is saying that, see, first you have developed an attachment for Krishna by transcendental love. That is the first, right? Second one is, if you have not developed that kind of love for Krishna or attachment for Krishna, two, right? There are two. One you have attached, one you have not yet attached. So fixing your mind upon Lord Krishna is, of course, perfection of sadhana. That is great, very good, spiritual practice. But what happens is, once you come into Krishna consciousness, we cannot expect one to become suddenly, okay, you have got the transcendental love for Krishna. Oh, you have on that path. You cannot immediately begin, right? Immediately we cannot become expert or perfect in that. So what should people do if you cannot perfectly fix the mind on Lord Krishna? What to do? So Lord Krishna is giving the answer to that one. They should remember him. Remember him in with devotion, right? Follow the regulative principles. So what will happen if we keep practicing? Practice makes a man perfect. So that is abhyasa. Krishna has every time taken a lot of, he is stressed upon abhyasa, right? So each time mind wanders anywhere, we have to bring it back to God. Remember his names, remember his pastimes every time. So that will, what will happen in the end? We will develop a desire to attain him. We will fall in love with Lord. That's what Lord says. How many different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated?
4.
Just now we spoke about 2. Right now we spoke about 2. One who is actually completely in transcendental love with Krishna, and one who is still practicing. Just now, we have just now got across only 2. One who is completely Ananya Bhakti, and then one who has to do some sadhana bhakti. Follow rules and regulations of bhakti. Proper process to purify senses are by, under the guidance of a spiritual master. We should be able to get up early, enter temples, offer prayers, chant Maha Mantra, offer flowers to deities, cook for deities, honor prasadam, constant hearing of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees, and qualification is that anyone can do. What will be the result of it? Of course, there is a surety of love of Supreme Personality of Godhead, our beloved Krishna. So once we do that, can we develop an attachment for Krishna? Is it easy? Just keep answering yes or no in your mind. Can you do it? Yes or no? Am I getting committed towards it? Yes or no? Am I feeling positive? Yes or no? Do I want to seriously give it a try? Yes or no? And if it is 3 or more, yes, according to you. If you can develop an attachment for Krishna, check for yourself. And then if it is 3 or more yes, then you have to chant loudly. So nobody has got 3 or more?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
So we have only one.
Hare
Sri Devi
Krishna,
Mataji
Hare
is only.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare. Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Prem Kumari Mataji. Hari Bol. Yes.
Krishna.
So there are some who have developed some attachment for Krishna. So we have, by the end of the half of the chapter, we are really on the Bhakti Marg now. So if it's easy, if we can do it, we can get committed, we can feel positive, and we want to seriously give it a try. So we are on the path of Bhakti Yoga. So after the 2 processes, now comes the third one, Karma Yoga. Abhyasepya samarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madarthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Yes, who will read? Manohar Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Mataji, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So to remember God, it's not that easy, right? Every time we want to remember God, we'll think for a while. Once we get into this material world, again it's lost. So because our mind is made up of material energy, there is full of Maya, naturally it is going to run towards the material objects, right? So we have to make a conscious effort. Every time we have to make conscious and determined effort. It's not going to come naturally to us. We have to make it a conscious effort. We have to practice, right? So we are told that we should think of God. But so what happens is we try to do that. But the moment we get engaged or we are absorbed in our work, God slips out of our mind. So what to do? How to practice remembrance of God at all times? Lord Krishna is answering in this verse. What is Lord Krishna saying is, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, work for me. So who cannot constantly remember Lord should practice to simply work for him. Whatever work you're doing, whatever work you're performing, Krishna says you must cultivate the habit that you are doing for Krishna's pleasure. I am an accountant. I am doing all this for Krishna's pleasure. Does not mean that we stop all our work, right? We should continue to earn our living. We are doing our job. Just the shift that we have to think is in our way of thinking. Rather than thinking that I am an accountant, I'm earning money for my enjoyment, you have to just start thinking that I am an accountant. I'm working so that I can take care of my family with the earnings that and then what I'm going to do, that I can engage all my family members also into devotion. And whatever I'm going to save, I shall try to donate it in the service of Lord. I will do something for the Lord. Same way, we cannot stop the daily chores that we are doing every day, right? Whether we are eating, sleeping, whatever we are doing, we have to do it. But we can develop Krishna consciousness. We can say that I'm going to do some yoga practices so that I can keep my body healthy, so that I can do all my 9 processes of devotional service. The moment we make our mind practice that, it will naturally stop engaging in all the selfish activities. It will stop becoming self-centered, and we will start doing devotional service and soon be able to focus upon Lord and gradually start desiring him. That is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Athai padapya shaktosi kartum madhyogam sarva karma phalatyagam katah kuru yatatmavan. Yes, Charu Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, then try to act, giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Krishna has given 3 ways for Arjuna's welfare. First, he said, engage Lord Krishna's into devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, complete transcendental love. Then, if not, develop an attachment for Krishna and do some practice, sadhana bhakti. If you cannot do that also, what he's asking he's asking Arjuna to work for him, karma yoga. If that also requires purified and a lot of determination is required, still you are not sure of your relationship with Krishna, you have not realized him yet, you find it very difficult to work, for Lord Krishna's pleasure. Lord Krishna in this verse is given 4th alternative for welfare. He's telling Arjuna, keep doing your work as before, whatever you're doing, just become detached from the results of your action. Whatever you're doing, just remain detached from the fruits of your action. What will happen is such detachment will purify our mind, because then we won't have that false ego that I am the doer. It will take us away from the modes of ignorance and passion. Slowly we'll get into mode of goodness. Okay, I am not the doer. It's Krishna who's making me do. Everything is for Krishna. Whatever credit, discredit, miscredit, whatever credit, just give it to Krishna. That's it. I have done my duty. That's it. And Krishna made me do. He gave me the energy to do it. That's it. So once we renounce the fruits of the efforts, that whatever contamination we have in our mind, false ego we have in our mind, will go down lesser, and it will make our intellect stronger. It will make us strong enough to decide which is right, which is wrong. This way we'll be able to move towards higher levels of sadhana. So whatever various alternatives Lord Krishna has given, he is just asking us or inspiring us to become a better version of our own selves. Yes, please, Mataji, who will read? Sunena Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We do, right? We practice, we do so many pujas and we do so many ceremonies. We call pandits and we do it naturally, right? It happens. Parents have said, okay, do this puja. So we call pandits and we engage our mind. But actually, we cannot engage. We are just very busy collecting all the stuff for the puja. But the mind is not getting engaged towards the love of God. Right? This I always tell when somebody does the Grah Pravesh or buys a car also, we do the puja, right? We call Pandit at home and we call our dear and near ones also. And we do all the kinds of, lot of work has to be done. Lot of sattvic food is prepared, flowers, decorations, and what all we need, puja samagri. Pandit will order a big list and all that, and Pandit performs. While the owner or the one who has the host and the hostess, they will be sitting doing the puja. The rest of them, they are engaged in just gossip or different kind of talks. They are just sipping a cup of coffee, tea, whatever they are drinking. And they are talking about jewelry. The women are busy talking about saris, jewelry. Men are talking about houses, property, market price, whatever, business. For them, devotion is nothing more than performing an empty ritual. They do it because it's been a ritual, right? Parents have done, grandparents have done, everybody, relatives have done, we are expected to do. So we are doing. There is no feeling in it as such. Of course, it is good that we are doing. Something is better than nothing at all, because otherwise we'll just leave everything. That also is not that good. At least this one, we are engaging in some kind of devotion. But Lord Krishna says that we have to develop spiritual knowledge. Once we get that knowledge slowly, what will happen, as I told you before, knowledge is direct relationship with love. If we know that we get this knowledge that, okay, this stone is very precious, our love for it also increases. So developing spiritual knowledge will gradually help us to understand what is our main goal of life, which is to become Krishna consciousness. So once we get into this kind of knowledge of Krishna consciousness, slowly we move beyond. We start having this devotion towards the rituals. So if we at all we are performing any, then we get away from these empty rituals and try to purify our mind. By having just knowledge, is not going to clean our heart. So Lord Krishna is saying, higher than cultivation of knowledge is engage your mind in meditation. So knowledge, then cultivate your mind so that you engage in meditation, right? So first, cultivation of knowledge is very, very important. Then cultivation of knowledge is the process of engaging the mind in meditation. Higher than knowledge is what to do? Meditate. Then cultivate knowledge, then meditation, then give up the result of your action. Slowly we practice the mind through meditation. We start to develop detachment from worldly pleasures. Then what happens? Mind becomes detached. Then we start practicing. The next step, what is that? Renunciate the fruit of action. What will happen? It will help us move away from this Maya. And then it will help us to get engaged into the devotional service, higher stages. So the direct process, it's not possible for everyone. Some people do indirect process, which is meditation. Krishna is not recommending the indirect process, however, to Arjuna. Why? Because already he is at that stage. He is loving Krishna to bits, right? So he doesn't have to go through that indirect process. He already is in love with Lord. He is doing all kinds of devotional service to Lord. So it is for those who are not able, who are not at that stage, they can also do through meditation, through the process of renunciation, knowledge, meditation. Then they realize the super soul, Brahman, everything is falling. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, as long as Krishna is concerned, what Lord Krishna is recommending is the direct method is stressed over here. So Lord Krishna is saying direct method, surrender, surrender, surrender everywhere. So Lord Krishna is very, very, very kind, very merciful. He's giving us so many choices, right? He's very broad-minded, he is accommodative, and he is not at all judgmental. He is giving us many, many options, many, many choices, many, many alternatives, right? So we have to understand that we can do through any process, but the direct process is recommended. What are the steps of indirect process if one cannot directly come to the stage of devotional service?
Cultivate knowledge,
meditation, and give up the results of labor. Correct, correct. Yes, who will read this? Atmaja Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who is not envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, who is free from false ego and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me, is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Srila Prabhupada says that, pure devotee, he is not disturbed. He is not envious. He is very calm. Whatever problem has come must be because of me. I must have done something to him. That is why he's being very mean to me. So he's very quiet. He's patient. He's very kind to everyone, to his enemy also. Nirmamo nirahankara. He's detached, and he's having no ahankar also. He's not having false ego. He is tolerant. He's satisfied. He follows his guru's orders. He does everything. He is not bothered about he doesn't get into any kinds of argument. If somebody is not agreeing with him, he will just keep quiet. He is determined to do devotional service. He is so content within himself that he just doesn't bother about anything else. He knows Krishna is the eternal Lord. It helps him to fix his mind completely on the Lord. So that, of course, that kind of devotional service is very, very rare. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and he says, such devotee, they are very dear to me. Yes, please. Snigdha Mataji, will you be able to read now?
Yes, Mataji. He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare. So, soul is very pure. Soul actually is very pure. It is, but when it comes in touch with material nature, that's when it develops all those qualities, right? So if we can remove those impurities, again it will shine, because its natural thing is to be very pure. So if we remove all that dust, it will again become pure. Not that difficult. but we have to practice. So Lord Krishna is telling about describing some more qualities of that we can, be developed in his devotees. What he says, such a devotee, if his devotee will, he will not be annoying anybody. He will be very gentle. He will be very kind. He is not going to get disturbed. He never hurts anyone. So what happens is, if just because he is not hurting anyone, does not mean that others will not hurt us. They will. Everybody will try to hurt us. There will be many people who will be talking very in an offensive way. They will try to talk that, ultimately you won't be able to bear it. But a devotee remains equipoised. Yasmanno dvijate loka, lokano dvijate chayaha. What does it mean? Like Jesus did good to everyone. What happened to him? He was crucified, right? Yet, what did he say? Did he say, oh, I curse all of you? Never did he utter that word. He said, Father, please forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Haridas Thakur, he was beaten in 24 marketplaces. Did he say, I curse you all? They had that power to do that, but they did not. They prayed. He prayed, please forgive them. They are ignorant souls. Such devotees, they are completely equal, equipoised, whether it is pain, pleasure, that they get that wisdom. The moment you get that wisdom over there, that height they reach, they are aware. Okay, this is part and parcel of life. This is what it is, This is like Shitoshna Dukkheshu, like Harsha Marsha Bhayo Dvegaihi, Sachame, yes, Sachame Priyaha. Harsha Marsha Bhayo. So it will be like, they will be having like summer and winter season. How summer comes, winter comes, it will keep changing. Sometimes you'll be having happiness, sometimes distress. They are completely free from all kind of anxiety. That will not, because they are not attached. They are just attached to God. They are not attached to any worldly things. Why will they have any fear? You have only fear and anxiety when you have that anxiety or you have any attachment towards something. The moment you love your diamonds, you're always having that anxiety. Somebody will come, you won't be able to sleep. You have put under your pillow, you're holding on to it. You're so attached to it, you will not be able to sleep completely because of fear and anxiety. The moment you have nothing to do with it, you just keep it over there. I have nothing, I'm not attached to it. You will sleep perfectly well. So he becomes fearless, says Lord Krishna. Which of these is not a devotee's qualification? Not a devotee's qualification.
It doesn't care for any resident.
He never disturbs anyone, but may get disturbed by them. Just because he never troubles anyone does not mean that others may not hurt him. Others may hurt him, but he will be tolerant towards them. That is what it is. So let's move on to the next one. Nigda Mataji, you can read another one also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. A devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for some result is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Continuously, Lord Krishna is, Hare Krishna Mataji, describing some more qualities that develop in his devotees. He says he's indifferent to worldly gains. Like, I always tell to a poor person, even a 100 rupee note is very, very valuable, right? But if for somebody who's like Tata Ambani or Bill Gates, that 100 rupees is nothing for them. They will not, even if they lose it, they won't even give it a 1 second thought also to it. Similarly, devotees of Lord Krishna, they are very rich in love for Krishna. So for them, these worldly things, it's like 100 rupees for them. Like how Ambani feels about 100 rupees. They are that rich in love, right? They are completely pure. Internally as well as externally, they are pure, right? So it is anapeksha shuchir daksha. Shuchi, the shuchi means purity. Lot of purity is there inside and outside. Why? Because their mind is constantly engaged in the Lord. They are absorbed. So naturally what happens is they get away from this kama, krodha, moha, lobha, mad, matsarya, like lust, anger, greed, envy, and false ego. So what happens is naturally they want to keep their internal body. Of course, they want to keep it very clean, but externally also they will keep themselves very clean because they want to go to the God and they want to be extremely pure when they go near God, right? And there is also a saying I say in English is cleanliness is next to godliness. A devotee is pure.
Inwardly and outwardly.
Yes, correct. Yes, please. Who will read now? Gauri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who neither grasps pleasure or grief, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yo na hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti manyas same priyaha. I like this shloka a lot. Hrishyati. Neither, he takes pleasure, na dveshti, neither grieves. They will not rejoice. When small pleasures come in our life, small sorrows come in our life, nothing, moves them, right? Like if electricity goes away and it is very dark and somebody shows a candle, we become very happy. And then suddenly they will blow it out, we become very unhappy. Why did you blow it out? But if you're standing under right noon sun, 12 o'clock, mid-noon sun, there's so much of light. Even if somebody is lighting up the candle or not lighting up the candle, blowing the candle doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't matter to a devotee is so illuminated that way. Similarly, he is neither nashochati na kankshati. He is never lamenting, neither feeling sad, nor desiring for anything. He is not running after anything. He doesn't want anything, whether it is shubha, ashubha, parityagi. Whether it is auspicious, unauspicious, he is renounced. Good, bad, anything. Such devotee are really, really very much, devoted to me, and I love them very much. Such, they're full of devotion. Their heart is full of ocean of love for Lord. So Lord Krishna loves such devotees. They are very, very dear to Lord Krishna. Yes. Anyone else who wants to read? Anupriya Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contamination, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and engaged in devotional service, is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He is alike. Again, Lord Krishna is describing more qualities dealing with other entities. He is equal to friends and foes, right? There's a story about King Prahalad. I always tell this story that he had a son called Virochan. So how this will tell us how he is same to friend and foe. This is the example that helps us to understand. So his son Virochan got into an argument with his Prahlad Maharaj Guru's son Sudhanva, and Virochan said, "You know what? I'm superior to you because I'm king's son." So the Rishi's son said, "No, I am superior because I'm a son of a Rishi Muni." So they were both young, they were both immature, they didn't have that kind of wisdom by then. So they were like, okay, let us just put some bets. They laid bets. So whoever is going to be proved superior will get to live. The other person has to go to gallows or die. So now somebody has to tell who is superior. So there has to be a judge for that. Who better? So this one said, Rishi's son, he said, Prahlad Maharaj, your son, your father, Virochan, can become our judge. So he said, what? My father? No. Later on, what? You will complain that my father was very partial. Let's not do that. Then he said, no. My father, Rishi Angiras, he said that your father Prahlad is very much impartial. So he will not differentiate between a friend and a foe. So that both the boys went to Prahlad Maharaj. Virochan said, Father, who is superior, me or Sudhanva? So Prahlad Maharaj said, why did you ask this question? I don't know. Let me understand why you're asking. He said, no, we just laid bets, that whoever is going to be proved superior will get to live. The other person has to go to gallows or die. So Prahlad Maharaj smiled. He said, you know what? Your friend Sudanva is right. I'm sorry, but you are wrong. So you have to go to gallows. He said, how? Why? He said, because Sudanva is superior. The reason being, he is your father's guru's son. So you have to go to gallows, please. That's it. At that moment, Sudan was shocked. And he said, wait, 1 minute, king. Am I superior to you or you are superior to me? So Prahlad Maharaj thought for a minute. He said, of course, you are superior to me. You are I was born in a family of demons, while you were born in a family of Rishi Munis, who is also my guru. So definitely you are superior. He said, in that case, please just excuse Virochan, let him live. Prahlad Maharaj said, okay, if you say so. He said, please leave him. All the devtas, all who were there, they were all showering, Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki, Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki, Jai, because of the quality of justice that he displayed. That attitude of justice, that was very natural. It came natural to Prahlad Maharaj because he had that virtuous quality of being the perfect devotee of the Lord. He was equal to friend, foe, relative, kin, whoever you name it, he was just equal to them. He was impartial. So we will not be able to do such when it comes to our own kids or kith or kin, right? See, such devotees are also equipoised, whether it is honor or dishonor. It doesn't matter to them, right? Whenever boy and a girl are in relationship, Srila Prabhupada says they are not bothered about dishonor or honor. There have been so many honor killings also, right? They display their love. They don't bother about who is going to see us, who is not going. People may gossip, but their relationship is so deep, they don't care about anything else, right? So similarly, in the heart of devotee also, the flame of divine love is burning so vigorously that they don't bother about honor, dishonor. It doesn't carry any importance for them, right? And then comes next is Shitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu. Whatever may happen, whatever joy, sorrow may happen, they are not bothered about anything. Like Srila Prabhupada, he lost so much in his business, but he continued. He said, whatever God wills, that is going to happen. They are completely away from unfavorable association. They don't want, they want sang, they don't want asang, kusang. Kusang is not favorable association. They want always to be in proper sang, which is satsang. And they are, whether you are criticizing them, praising them, nothing matters to them because internally they are motivated. They don't need external factors. They don't need external praise. If I'm doing a good work, I don't need to be recognized outside, from outside. I know what I'm doing. I'm happy. I'm doing for the Lord. That's it. Sthiramati, very important point. Sthiramati is what? Silent contemplation. Their mati is completely sthir. Like it's said about the crows and the swans. Crows are drawn towards garbage while swans are attracted by the silent, quiet lakes. The mind of worldly people are drawn towards all gossip and all different matters. Well, whereas the devotees, they are always thinking about, very quietly meditating about Lord. They are completely silent. Their minds are drawn towards all kinds of names and forms of the Lord. And they're content with whatever they have. They don't want, they just keep the minimum. They have that minimalistic kind of living that they think upon. They think and only think of Krishna, and they develop that desire to engage in devotional service. And they don't need to go step by step improvement. They are in direct relationship with God, and such qualities that endears Krishna. What is meant by saying a devotee is silent?
Option C, he keeps his mind
always fixed in the Lord.
A devotee is silent means he doesn't speak with anything nonsense. When he talks only about Lord Krishna. The example of swans and the crows. Crows, they're attracted towards the garbage, where swans are attracted towards quiet lakes. Similarly, the materialistic people are drawn towards all gossip. They want to talk. Anything nonsense, they will be talking. But the devotee, he is always thinking about Lord Krishna. And if at all he talks, he will talk only about Lord Krishna. So the answer is A. ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धधाना मत्परमाः भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः. Yes, Atmaja Mataji, Hare Krishna.
He who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage himself with faith, making me the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So how did Lord Krishna conclude this chapter? By giving answer to Arjuna's question. Arjuna asked, right, who is superior? Now he's telling Bhakti Yoga. He's concentrating on his personal form. Through Bhakti Yoga is the superior, better than even Jnana Yoga. So those who worship the formless Brahman through Jnana Yoga, they are also there, but it is little troublesome. They can also do it, but Bhakti Yoga is better. So Lord Krishna is answering the question in second verse itself, that among highest yogis, who steadfastly they engage their devotion upon personal form are the best. Now he continues telling about bhakti, how to perform, what to do, what are the qualities of the devotees, so that we, why do you think he's telling about the qualities of the devotees? He's not, thinking that, okay, he's trying to see whether we can inculcate those qualities or not. He says, okay, let me help them. These, embodied souls, they don't know what to do. Let me give them some tips. So these are the tips he's giving. How to perform devotion, what are the qualities of his devotees, and then what is the supreme path of spirituality, which is bhakti. So he's giving these 3 tips to us. The 3 tips are how to perform devotion, qualities that we can develop in ourselves, and how to, move towards bhakti marg, the supreme path of spirituality. So the path that is recommended in this chapter is, of course, devotional service, no doubt about it. And how to do bhakti? By surrender. There should be no false ego, no arrogance. We should do it in complete humility. So with this, we come to finish 12th chapter. Bhakti is the best worshipper of impersonal feature. We talked about devotees are perfect. Krishna personally delivers the devotees. Then we learned about progressive stages. So Ananya Bhakti, which is perfected stage. You cannot do that. Practice, sadhana stage, karma yoga. That if you cannot do that also, then at least give up the results at least. That's what Lord Krishna says. Then attitude towards oneself, qualities that endear Krishna. Those people, they neither bothered about pleasure or pain. They are not lamenting about anything. They renounce all auspicious and inauspicious things. How do they deal with others? They're equal to whether it is a friend or a foe, right? They are same, whether it is honor or dishonor, happiness or distress. They are like that because they are away from all kind of contamination. How do they react when something happens to them? They are not disturbed. They are not disturbed, whether it is happiness, distress, whatever it may be. And how is the dealing with Lord? They are not envious. They are very kind to all living entities, right? They do not think that they are the ones who are doers. They are free from all kinds of false ego. And such people are very dear to me, says Lord Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sundibhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Hare Krishna.